Shalom, brothers and sisters. Look, I've just discovered and well, as I turn on the news, which I don't normally, I just felt the need to. And there's a story that has sort of caught my eye. It's regarding a bomb blast or to do with nuclear that's taken place in a port in Beijing, and I believe it has something to do with testing. 50 people have lost their lives, which is very tragic. But I do believe it has something to do with what's just been going on in the world lately. I believe it's to do with testing, and they're experimenting with this. So I'll just play the story.
If the blast wasn't frightening enough, pictures of the damage left behind by a port explosion in China yesterday show just how intense and large the tragedy was. It happened in Tianjin, a city 100 kilometers from the capital, Beijing. 15 million people live there. It's home to one of China's biggest ports. In fact, it's the 10th biggest in the world. Within a 3-kilometer radius of the explosion, row upon row of containers, new cars, imports and exports have been damaged. 200 nuclear and biochemical experts are on the scene trying to find the cause. 50 people are confirmed dead, and that number is expected to rise over the weekend. Once a thriving port, Tianjin is now an apocalyptic wasteland. Fires still burn in a scene of breathtaking obliteration. Steel shipping containers have been crumpled. Hundreds of new cars ready for export are incinerated. And between the ghostly abandoned buildings, a frozen clock marks the moment this city exploded. Each blast more powerful. Let's go down! Families ran from swaying high-rises.
All of a sudden there was like a loud, like a shockwave sound. The first thing a lot of people thought it was an earthquake.
The impact registered on seismic equipment 160 kilometers away, a force compared to a nuclear blast. More than a dozen firefighters are part of a rising death toll. Survivors are homeless and scared. The house collapsed. We didn't know what happened, this woman says. Local hospitals are overwhelmed and the impact is global. BHP Billiton is just one client expecting major shipping delays as investigators piece together how the chemical-laden warehouse ignited and deal with potential contamination on a massive scale. Emma Dallymore, 7 News.
It's just interesting that nuclear techs have been brought in. I mean, this is a pretty big deal, I think, and it is concerning because I believe that they're testing something. It sounds weird, but when I see something like this on that kind of a scale, they're testing, and it doesn't matter how much people say, oh well, it was just an accident, something happened. Really? I mean, you've got chemicals in containers. I mean, it doesn't just ignite itself. There's something very odd, and I do not believe the media and what they're telling us. So it definitely has something to do with some sort of testing, and perhaps the radius. Perhaps how many they're going to need to wipe out certain areas. So I mean, we just need to be alert, vigilant, and I'm just very sad that these people have lost their lives just because someone wants to test something out. It's disgusting. Anyway, about to start my Shabbat, so shalom, and speak soon. See ya.